If we can start out by having you introduce yourself and your organization.
I'm Christine Grumm with the Women's Funding Network. I'm the president and CEO, and this is a network of 166 women's foundations around the world on 6 continents.
Can you tell me a little more about the work you do?
These are funds that do grant making for women and girls work, everything from stopping violence to economic development, and do a lot of very in-depth and have over the years social impact investing.
How does funding for women differ from general funding?
Well, I think the difference is that you use a gender lens and you're funding through women. It doesn't mean it only impacts women, because we believe that if you fund women and they are funded around economic development, families are more secure, communities are more secure, and therefore the country is more secure.
Are there any specific programs that come to mind that you're particularly proud of?
Well, I think there are a number of them, everything from economic development. We have a Women Moving Jobs program that actually helps single moms, head of households, get better jobs, move out of poverty. There are projects around housing development, around stopping violence. So I think, we don't look at any one part. We're pretty holistic in how we look at women.
Working nationally and internationally, what kind of issues have you faced in terms of scaling?
Well, money. I think that's the biggest issue, is having the ability to have the funds to do it. I actually think women and girls foundations and funds who have been operating for 30 years have always talked about what collective impact was. And the biggest issue around scaling has been having the resources available to do that. Because I think for the most part, while women are disproportionately impacted by things like violence and poverty, 70% of poverty are women and girls, they don't really get those philanthropic dollars to help turn that around. So I think it's always been a matter of trying to make sure that the resources are there to support the leadership of women, to make the decisions and do the solution building that needs to happen. But we continue to work on that.
Great. And what were you hoping to gain from attending this conference?
Well, I think the whole concept of scaling up is an interesting one, but we also differentiate between what I call social change 2.0 and social change 3.0. Social change 2.0 being about individuals changing, getting to school, getting educated, getting health care, getting out of a violent situation. And those are all really critical things that have to happen. That's what I would call social change 2.0. Social change 3.0, which we also think a lot about and fund, is changing systems so that women don't have to be limited in their access to capital markets so they can start small businesses. It's not just about one woman starting a business, it's about freeing up capital so that all women, including all low-income women, can also have access. So I think that the scaling up is really important. This conference, I think, is focused on social change, what I would call 2.0, and I think probably a deeper discussion needs to happen around how do you do that kind of impact around social change 3.0, because it's not as defined. It's talking about social justice. It's talking about change in a systemic way that's very different. So I think that's one of the things that would come out of this to me that needs further discussion.
Great. Very helpful. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.